Hey everyone, traders, friends, and family, welcome to statistically my most profitable day of the week. That's why I spell it Wednesday, W-I-N-S-D-A-Y. Let's hop into some stocks that you requested and that I think might be moving, look at some analysis, talk about them, and enrich lives together. You rock. I'll see you in the video. Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's Jeremy Alexander Newsom with your Wednesday real life stock review. And we're gonna have a lot to talk about today because there was a lot of good volume and some stupendous things piling into the markets right towards the end of the day. Realistically, we did get a rate cut today, so rates went back down a little bit, which is quite incredible actually that happened, I think. And I feel like it was priced into the market. The market was kind of assured that it was going to happen. And even though most people thought that it most likely would cause the market to go higher, which it made sense to me if that would have happened, it was just one of those sell the news type of events, right? Once the news came out, it's happening, we're getting a little bit of a pullback. So, which is nice. I mean, this is a good, actual, healthy drop. Too bad that it was FOMC related, but we had a little bit of a drop on the SPY, and it happened. Most of this movement happened right after that announcement of the 2 o'clock Eastern time. So we got the massive spike down, the drop, the rally, and then the soft breakdown. So looking at it, I mean, nice volume, good lower shadow, big candle. I'm expecting at this point most likely that we're going to hang out, probably have an inside day candle tomorrow. We probably still will have a dip buying opportunity because really all we did is pull back down to the 10 EMA. I'm expecting us to chop around for a little bit longer and potentially trade all the way down to 293 and some change would be a good little buying spot. I don't really have a quote-unquote worst case scenario planned out, but 286 would pretty much be that worst case scenario before we get a little bit of a bounce. Would make the most sense to me. I actually wouldn't be shocked at all if we have an inside candle tomorrow on the SPY, which would be Thursday, and then we just slowly start creeping back up on the train of bullishness on the SPY. Now, it doesn't have to happen that way by any stretch of the imagination, but that just makes the most sense to me. Here's the Qs, QQQ, and big bearish engulfing candle today. Nice volume. Again, the technicals are going to point towards a bearish continuation from here, short term, right? It will be a counter trend trade. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. But the volume in the candles do show that we most likely will have a little bit of a continuation lower, which is honestly brilliant. Very happy that that's happening. Amazon pulling back to the 100 simple. I got a buddy who has bought some shares here. Shout outs to my good trader who I met in Port St. Lucie, Florida, Jim Philman, on his biggest trade, biggest gainages of the day. Let's see, Jim saying, where was he at? We had a lot of good chats today, but let me see if I can find his pictures of a plane. Been day trading Amazon, 4.3 hours. He was going in and out of Amazon a lot today, and I think he said it was his best day. Yeah, there it is. So one of his top 3 day trading days ever, 7-6 hours, all on Amazon and Beyond Meat, which was pretty sweet, right? Jesse says he's closing out July at 8.8 hours, which is amazing. Brad ending with 1.3 hours for the month. Darren making some magic happening. Said he struggled last month and with some support from real life trading, rebuilt his trading plan from scratch. The first week of July, decided to focus on his own swing trades and futures. And look at this, total of 0.65 Rs. Nicely done, Darren. That's what I'm talking about. Ending strong, focusing on your plan, getting it built. I like it. I think that's wonderful. So congrats, the first 3 people. Oh, no, there's a post right there. Daniel, July's in the books. Best month ever again. 12.5 Rs. Oh, man, this is good stuff. So the 4 people who've started posting their results for July in Slack are already having the best month of all time, or just really good months, profitable months. I love that. Back to the charts. Amazon pulling back to the 100. I know a lot of you are really keeping your eye on Amazon to try to pick the bottom of this beast. Right now, you've had 4 candles in a row with lower highs and lower lows. And at some point, since it's in an uptrend, whenever we take out one of these candles, be bullish. Tomorrow, we could have an inside candle on Amazon, probably will. It'd be relatively bullish, I would assume, on Amazon at the 100. But if it does pull down to 1750, I know a few people who are looking at picking up another share or two of Amazon just on a big picture perspective, buying the dip and getting in around the 200 if it gets back down to that level. Here's Google. Google following Mr. Squiggles pretty nicely so far. Got a little bit of a high wave candle today with an upper and lower shadow on Google, and this gap working on getting totally filled on the way back down. Nice little high wave candle. So yeah, I actually kind of am planning on a little bit of a bullish day tomorrow. Might be just an inside day, and maybe Friday we have a really nice bullish day. We will see, of course. I mean, anything is possible. I'll be very flexible, really focusing on some day trades. But August 1st, brand new month, starting tomorrow. So go through when you're doing your analysis, go through and look at the monthly candles and the weekly candles. But monthly candles, we will get new ones starting tomorrow. Apple, speaking of monthly candles, check this one out. Big bullish candle on Apple. Huge move. It did actually gap up on earnings. And the analysis that I've been talking about for about the last week and a half on Apple was that it was going to gap up on earnings and most likely fade down. That is what it did, and Drake and a few others, and myself included, were able to play some bearish moves on Apple as it broke down, right? Ran up early this morning, double topped, and ever since that double top, it's just been on the weaker side, and the bears had more control on Apple. So, yeah, I mean, I love the gap up. It was a fadeable gap, though. That's the thing. It was just a gap that you'd want to sell, lock in profits. It was a really strong gap. Earnings were actually okay, but they were decreasing. Sales and revenues from year to year actually were going a little bit lower, which is a little bit of a concern. But the numbers across the board were good. They were making tons of money. They're doing great financially, but the sales are just kind of slowing down. The weekly perspective on Apple, again, this is a massive resistance, big upper shadow, but at some point expecting this just to rotate back down and then eventually continue higher. Earnings on Square, right around the corner. Usually Square does not gap that big on earnings, so I'm not specifically too worried about this one having a big gap. If it does gap down into 77 and some change, then I'd actually be looking at a little bit of a bearish trade. I know a lot of traders have sold some put premium on Square over earnings. Best case scenario is Square opens at 83.42 on earnings, and if it does that, in my opinion, it's just a matter of time before it hits $100 per share. We will see, but it's a very nice little pennant pattern, nice little double bottom on a weekly chart, and if we do, again, gap up into this level on earnings, I think it'll be a really strong move, bigger picture. Here's Pinterest, PINS, and Pinterest making a cute little move today. Also, earnings right around the corner, and a lot of people are going to be keeping a close eye on Pinterest. A gap above $30, and I feel pretty strong about this triangle pattern breaking out, holding, and doing some good moves. This was some analysis that we did during the free week, some January 2021 calls on Pinterest, not very expensive, a week and a half ago. I mean, still not expensive, but Ashley does have a $32 covered call for August. We will see how Pinterest does gap on earnings. I do expect it to gap nicely, and this one's going to be a fun one for a straddle or strangle over earnings, I believe, and going to be keeping a real close eye on this social media giant, which I think has a lot of opportunity for growth in the future. A few other trades. Here's Capital One Finance, ticker symbol COF. Looking at that one to pull back. I'll leave this trade open for 2 more days to see if it's going to pull back into this support region. Uber, ticker symbol UBER, had a decent bearish candle breakdown and was looking at getting in on some puts on a pullback. We didn't quite pull back far enough, but I'll leave that open for another 2 days. But Uber is showing just a little bit of weakness out there. Maxar Technologies had a bit bullish candle yesterday, a little bit of a bearish candle today, and it seems with a close below the 50 EMA and them really starting to curve down, the Maxar is going to be a smidge more bearish right now. Just hasn't broken above these moving averages yet on the hourly chart. So short term, just a little bit more bearish, but let's see what happens on earnings with Maxar Technologies, and we'll see what it does. I think I had one more trade that some people want to look at. This is my futures trading plan that I'm finalizing. Yes, ALKS. Had a trader request ALKS, and this one you just have a very small, very pretty high wave candle today, almost a tweezer top, which means the highs of these are the exact same. So if you're looking at playing ALKS for an aggressive trade, you could almost bracket trade this candle, boom or boom. Either way would actually be relatively decent on ALKS, break up or break down. This is a nice little candle. Had a really cute candle right here, and that was, I would say for the most part, really nice and properly placed. Good little pop there on ALKS. And then an update on Tesla. It is official. A lot of the traders who did some of those put sales, we have purchased those put sales back. Just letting everyone know out there that I don't say this very often, but I was 100% correct on Tesla. It did bounce. The premium did get absolutely evaporated and sucked out of these put sales. The January 100 is massively cheaper. The January 70 is massively cheaper. And the January 40s are massively cheaper. Being able to buy all those back for about 75% profit capture on all of them, that's a huge win. A lot of traders out there might be going and buying some Tesla or some shares, or potentially buying a new Tesla, maybe not a brand new one, you know, because they depreciate in value, but possibly a used one or a down payment on one. That was a really good trade, and I think it's one that I'll be, you know, using to maybe reinvest into my home to some degree. But that was a gorgeous trade on Tesla. Amazing volatility capture. And really, this was a very pretty move today from a day trade standpoint. Here is the 5-minute chart, and this was very classic. So Tesla broke out, right, retested, and then just popped. Really gorgeous S-curve, solid move. This is exactly what I drew. This pink line is what I drew yesterday afternoon in the swing trading room. Said, hey guys, let it rotate down, which was here, right, and then let it bounce and watch it trade higher. Obviously, getting out before the FOMC meeting just on just about anything was the way to play it. But yeah, gorgeous stuff. Great timing with the put sales on Tesla and the purchase back on those. And we'll just kind of see what we get from here. But I do expect this gap to continue to fill. And then, of course, if we're looking at them, talking about put sales, AMD had a very strong bearish gap and go today, trapping anyone who bought yesterday. And now it's at 30.45. So for some traders out there looking at getting into these 26 put sales for September on advanced micro devices, because hey, owning it over 10% cheaper than it is right now might not be that bad of a thing. And that's also pretty much cheaper than it's been realistically since April. So buy low, sell high, get and put some shares down there would not be terrifying, I don't think. And you know, if that happens, turn right around, sell some covered calls, and hopefully get exercise for a profit at some particular point in time. Those are my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, on advanced micro devices and pretty much the broader markets. I hope it was helpful. I'll see you on Friday for your trade review. And until then, love life, live life, and trade it. Bye.
Boom, that's it. Wednesday stock review wrapped up, delivered for you. Thank you for watching. Make sure to click that subscribe button because I do this 3 times every single week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I have more coming next week. I have so much content, and I want you to check out this video right here because if you like this one, you'll love that one. You rock.